Hi everybody and welcome back to the channel as always. And tonight, as usual for Tuesdays, we will be playing New York by Night, well into season 2 already. Our intrepid kindred have been getting themselves into all kinds of trouble. Most recently, meeting a few set tights at Roland's Club for a bit of a one-on-one on one, etc., etc., etc. So to get us started, let's do our quick little roundabout, meet our characters, see what they have to say, how they're feeling this week. Let's start with Articus as our Tremere Felix Coat.
Bonjour, I'm Felix Coates, and I am currently the door guard. Well, let's see. I get myself into a situation where I was like, I'm not sure what's going on. I guess we're kind of doing it. Has there been a signal? Is that the signal? I don't know. So I decided to go into the back room when I saw everyone go in, and as soon as went in, I found the signal, which was Roland jumping on the guy. I'm just the door guard now.
Next we have Koznark as our Lasombra, Ike Rogers.
Ike's not here right now. The beast has taken over and currently busy murdering snake bitches.
Pretty much. Next we have Modi Anzas as our Bruja, Nate Ward.
Tonight has been interesting so far. Has been going smoothly-ish. We've managed to take our queries into the back room and subdue them with a bit of blood, but that was to be expected. I'm having a wonderful time, and we'll see how this evening goes. And if it's been going so well, nothing wrong could happen at this point, right?
Next we have Elvish Dame as our good Dr. Kim Brown, the Malkavian.
Kim is absolutely very worried at this point. She has managed to semi-neutralize two people, Dom being one of them, and the one who is attacking Nate, or Phil being the other one. But since Ike clouded the room in darkness, she's only a lot worried about him because he has previously been acting very strangely and way more eager to just be violent than he normally is, even. And so she might actually try to intervene with him, even though she can't see a damn thing in the next round or two.
Next we have Zabani as our Toreador, Angel Vargas.
Tonight's gone surprisingly well. I definitely planned for a lot more shit to go wrong. Managed to kill giant snake lady. That was fun, kind of freaky. Now it's super dark in here though. That's weird. I can't hear, so like I'm relying entirely on my sense of smell. That's not really sure what to do now.
And last but not least, we have Super Chocolate Bear as Roland Jacobs.
Well, this just went too well. Not that I could really get my teeth into Dom, not yet, but we'll see how that goes by the end of the night.
Yes, so picking up basically where we left off, our players here, we're all in Roland's VIP room up on the second floor of his club. Gotta zoom in. Right. So in the VIP room, they had invited Dominic, one of the leaders of the Setite, as well as his sire, Yvette. One other Setite they never learned the name of, and two other women that were with them that they believed were ghouls because it did seem like they were still human. There's, a little more blood in their cheeks. As the fighting pursued, Yvette is not in final death yet, but she had transformed herself into a giant cobra, as the Setites can do, and was sliced down the back of her spine by Angel. Got a couple other hits here and there, and is definitely incapacitated, which left her in her original quote-unquote human form. Poor Yvette is now naked, covered in her own vitae, on the ground with a giant, knife wound in her back. One of the ghoul girls with them did manage to escape the room, but the other was knocked to the floor, so she is left in the inky blackness that Ike summoned with his obtenebration. The other Setite was in a bit of a duel with Nate, physically. Nate had his bone daggers that he keeps inside his arms with his vicissitude, drew those out and began fighting. Similarly, Roland and Dominic have been kind of literally neck and neck fighting. Roland has been trying to keep a grip on him to actually drink his blood, drain him, whatever his actual plan is. Kim has done her job of dampening the emotions of some of those in the room, specifically the Setites. And Felix, back up against the wall, pulled out his favorite little trick of basically surrounding himself in a cage of electricity, which is very dangerous to touch. No. So, to get back started, Ike, you have just filled the room with your tenebration cloud. I would say let's restart with you. What is your next plan?
Like I said last time, Ike's gonna go ahead and jump on the lady, what's her name?
Yvette?
Yeah, Yvette, while she's on the floor, and just start beating the crap out of her until she dies.
All right.
Or until he's happy, one or the other.
All right. Nate, you are also lost in this darkness. You can't see what's going on, but you were, like I said, sort of in an actual physical encounter with this Setite. So still having the wherewithal that you were fighting and touching him, you have that much going on for you. And similar for Roland with Dominic. What are your next moves?
I guess the important point would be, what was the status of, I think he was blonde? The guy I was fighting when the darkness hit. What sort of condition was he in?
You had done a little bit of damage. Nothing near Maul just yet, but he is hurting. So you will need to probably get a couple more hits in there to really get him, unable to fight back or dodge. With the darkness, dodging is very iffy. He can't. It's so dark, even with the wherewithal of knowing that the couch was behind you a second ago, that's kind of gone. It's not just being in a dark room.
I guess. So my assumption is, because I assume the Setites can actually see well in the dark, just knowing above board. But Nate would have absolutely no idea, and make an assumption that the guy is just as unencumbered as he is in the darkness. That he would probably drop the daggers, because not being able to see anything is probably going to hurt himself just as much as he's going to hurt the other guy, and literally try to just vicissitude him bad. Just break everything with vicissitude so the guy can't move. He doesn't care if it's ugly, pretty, whatever, just do it bad so that the guy's incapacitated that way.
Also, it's up 10 shadows. If he recognized the tentacle damage, he probably knows the somber shadows that mean that, no one can see.
No. Yeah, I, as a Thorpe, knows that they can use... They have a lot of abilities to see in the dark and other things like that. Nate would have no idea, so he's going to make the assumption that I don't know what Set Night powers are, so I'm going to assume he can't see.
But Nate knows Lasombra powers.
Yes.
So Nate knows that nothing can see through Lasombra darkness.
I wouldn't know that he would be able to say that definitively.
Yeah, I mean, snakes
He just
have
knows
Jacob.
it's really dark, and he's never tried to see through it because
Snakes have Jacobson's organs. He might be able to use a different sense to sense through without actually being able to see.
I totally want to get sniffed out by snakes.
Also, I would say that even though Nate was surrounded by Sabat when he grew up, it was more of a Jamissi family, and the Lasombra that came to visit wouldn't necessarily sit down as a little old revenant and say, let me explain exactly how obtenebration works. Alright, and next I want to check in with Roland. You are still struggling with Dom. Are you just going to continue trying to get that blood out of him?
Yeah. Yep. That's it. That's all that's on his mind.
Felix, you are electrocuted, but you can't really see anything in this darkness. What are you thinking?
Let's see. Did I see the girl book it out?
You saw one of them make it out, and one, like, kind of got kicked to the floor by her. Like, stiletto to the cheek.
Oh. Well, I can't see. I'm near the door. I think that's a door, right?
Yeah.
If I touch the door, does it discharge?
I think it only works on, like, organic things, and it worked with the water because it's a conductive. Maybe any metal?
Right, and I close
I don't
the
think
door.
a wooden door would do anything.
Oh, but the door's open now, right? Because she booked it out.
Yeah, the door was open, so it's just that you can't see exactly where you're going. And it's disorienting. You know that door was there, but now there could be the different direction.
Well, I don't have many Tremere tricks of seeing in darkness. Evil black darkness thing. I'm just going to try to leave the room if I can. Somehow. So I can see again. That'd be wonderful.
Alright, and then, Kim, you are actually in the back corner. Not a great place to be if you're going to try and find your way through evil darkness. But what are you thinking?
Oh shit, that was like, fuck. Can I even do anything? I don't know. Okay, so I want to try to use...
You can speak. Oh wait, is everyone fully silenced?
They're not fully silenced. They're not fully silenced, but everything is heavily muffled.
Okay, so...
Like you're talking through a heavy blanket over you.
It takes her a couple seconds to realize what happened, and like the extent of it, because she's never seen this before, ever.
Yeah.
So she's going to try to use Passion on Ike to like calm him down. Like, I mean, obviously, it takes all the like glee away from fighting. So, she's going to try to do that, I guess. I don't know if I can do that without seeing him. It doesn't say that I have to see him, but...
I will rule it that, like, you have a target in mind, you know them, it's not like just some blonde guy you saw a second ago. That would be much more difficult. You know Ike, you know he's nearby, and it is a mental ability, so yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so I roll Charisma plus Empathy. Difficulty is Humanity score. So, what is that? 4? 3?
I think you're still at 4, or did you make it down to 3?
I'm at 4 now.
You're at 4,
Okay.
okay.
4. Charisma plus Empathy. Okay, hold on a second.
Yeah, I'm going to have you go ahead and roll that now since the other people are going to be doing a bit of more actual physical items.
Yeah, I figured it didn't matter super much. Okay, so what is that? That's 5 dice and difficulty 4. That was almost bad. All right, 2. So All right, so that lasts for an hour, according to this.
Yes. All right. So, you reach out with your mind. You know Ike a little well. It really has actually only been about a month-ish in-game time, but you've spent a lot of time and definitely had some very intimate interactions, especially after Fields Trip 2017. So you really feel like you can reach out to him and you connect with Ike's mind, and you even immediately feel the writhing, kind of snarling beast that's inside him, going a little wild even outside of his emotions. But he is also kind of just a little bloodthirsty and feeling excitedly out of control. So you start to dim that passion that he has going on. And the noise will be muffled, but if you want to actually also say anything to him, you can. It's just nerf.
No.
And let's also check with Angel. You are similarly lost in the fog, the dark, dark fog. You had just kind of finished up with Yvette, so you have essentially like free hands.
All right. So, do I have a general idea, especially with smell up, what that or where that other Tremere is? I'm sorry, Toreador.
Oh, Maz, yes. He, last you saw him before the obtenebration took over the room, he was curled up in the corner, basically behind Kim. Kim wasn't as cowardly as this poor little Tori. But I will allow you, with your heightened sense, to roll to kind of like find him in the darkness. He's a very pampered guy, so definitely, maybe you notice his cologne earlier. But give me a perception alertness against 8, and you won't have a botch. It'll just be difficult because of where you are.
Incidentally, my plan, if it's possible, is to grab him and drag him out of the door.
Okay.
Wow. That's 2 minus 2.
Yeah, I was actually saying difficulty 8 anyway. There's no botch here.
Nice.
It was just going to be very difficult because of the obtenebration. So you maybe still smell his cologne, but you just feel like you're just turning around in the darkness. You can't really tell which way you should be going or which way was the door. Where did he go? You can still kind of hear the commotion around you, but again, it is this like kind of muffled. It sounds more like people wrestling under a heavy quilt.
Yeah, wrestling.
All right. I will need. Let's go with Nate. I'd like you to roll me your vicissitude, because you actually have your hands on this guy.
All right.
Are you just going with flesh, or are you going with bone as well?
Just flesh, because that's the easiest for me to just completely disfigure him. I don't need to be breaking his bones.
Okay. If you are just doing anything you can, not anything specific, then your difficulty is only 5.
Woo!
Damn.
6 successes.
All right. You know what? I'm just gonna allow you to go ahead and describe exactly what you're doing because you can basically mess up his face and general whatever you can get a hold of as much as you want. Cannot remove skin. You'd have to roll in more for that, but you can move it, shape it, twist it, bop it, whatever you want to do.
Yeah, just the general thing is, because I assume we're both standing up, and generally the first thing I'd kind of get is his shoulders or his upper arms, and he would just sink his fingers in and twist, basically detaching whatever muscles he possibly could, and just move about him, twisting and just trying to basically detach every muscle he can and just twist things so that he's unable to move. He doesn't need to break skeleton, he just needs to fuck up the musculature system, so he'd grab a pectoral and move it to the left and just... the guy's not going to be pretty once we regain sight. Just completely misshapen and just barely even twitching because of what all the detached and twisted and wrongness of his muscles.
Yeah, it sounds like it's coming through like as if his face is buried in a pillow, but you hear all of the screaming and horrified, even kind of retching noises coming from the Setite as you manipulate and completely disfigure his physical form. Roland, go ahead and roll me. Let's see. Give me your strength and brawl. And then Dominic will be resisting.
Oh, why?
Because you're super chocolate bear, that's why.
I don't get it. I just don't understand.
I'm sorry, I took all the good rolls. Just
Because for every Modi, there has to
Your
be super
dice,
chocolate bear.
man. Just wow.
Dude,
But
don't
it's
worry.
always
Next,
super
next-
chocolate bear.
Look, the next time you roll, though, you're gonna blow up a bunch of plants with a shotgun, so it's fine.
No, it'll be like 2 or 3 more rolls down the line until I get a good one.
I think for Christmas, we'll buy Super Chocolate Bear an actual set of D10s. He'll just have to turn his camera down when he's rolling, and we'll let him see if his real life luck is better than his Roll20
No,
luck.
because it doesn't matter. It's whatever dice he touches.
No, that's fine. Everything's good.
Oh, he's botched. Does he
He's-
put his neck into my mouth?
No, we're gonna go with a little bit of what I like to call lashing oneself, because he did actually have his asp tongue out. So in
No, don't be another Suzanne. Don't be
all
another
over
Suzanne.
again.
Self-flagellation.
We'll fight some kinky villains.
a little bit. So, as Dominic is trying to hit Roland with his 18-inch razor-sharp snake's tongue that the Setite have, he gets disoriented by the darkness and by Roland still trying to, get a good grip at that neck, and ends up slashing himself kind of across the cheek and the neck, giving him a good actual open wound that will let me double check if that's just bruising. Do. Nope, 1 aggro. Good job, Dominic. Felix is trying to get the heck out of Dodge.
I just want to see again.
Yeah, I know.
I assume I can't know what Ghost Buddy is doing right now in the void of evil, demon, abyss, darkness, whatever the hell I'm in.
I'm gonna say because he's connected to you, you can kind of understand, maybe where he is. You certainly cannot see him.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, I'm trying to get outside the room because I'm hoping it is a room area of effect. It would be very awkward if it goes through the room because then it would be downstairs too, and that's just awkward. like a
All right.
sphere. That would be awkward.
Go ahead and give me a I'll actually let you use perception awareness
Sure.
at difficulty 8. And we'll say that like your ghost buddy's sort of trying to help you out. Still very difficult without being able to see.
He throws random objects at me to indicate which direction I should be going. No!
He's off in a corner just going, "Ooh, this way."
Like waving the snake in his hand. This way! That's right.
All right.
I stole Roland's rolls.
I believe Felix was actually up here against the wall. So you were very close to the door and you know it was open. Roland was a little more over here. Kim's in the back. Angel was fighting Yvette. Ike is on top of Yvette doing nasty things.
Hopefully I don't trip over the from the door of the vampire ruling. I guess I got successes.
Yeah.
Botch would be hilarious.
And Nate was fighting the other side. Alright, so Felix, you actually got 2 successes. So yeah, you are able to, with the connection of your ghost buddy, try to like feel out where he is and kind of like where he's trying to tell you which direction to go. So you stumble along, you accidentally kick someone in the chest and you hear a very muffled female voice. "Ah!" And
Did I just tap her?
No, you just kicked the poor girl that's still on the floor. You know, maybe stumble a little bit against the couch that you were nearest and feel out a table in front of you, and finally get your hands on the door jamb, and in the strangest way possible, you actually walk out from darkness and see the outside hallway, at which point you see Claudia standing with a very large shotgun and a blonde woman that you don't really recognize. But the two of them are standing there. The first floor actually looks completely empty. Or the second floor. Sorry. The second floor actually looks completely empty except for these two who have been standing by the door. The second Claudia sees you, she just bursts out, "What the hell's going on?"
He's just like, where did that woman go? The one that darted out.
Are you asking in character?
Yeah, because she darted out this door? Or was this
It was this
too?
door, yeah. So,
Okay.
Claudia's gonna like, oh, no, it's the one right here.
Okay,
That's the one you just made out of. Claudia's going to look confused for a second and then shake her head. She ran out of the room. She's just a ghoul. I'm not worried about her. What's going on inside?
Let's see. Roland pounced on Dom and is wrestling on something. Then, what's it? Ike with nuts did this black thing. He's laughing, something like that. It's chaos. I can't see in there.
And, speaking of, Ike, you wanted to jump on Yvette and start wailing on her.
I probably wouldn't after being calmed, unless... Yeah, I mean, he has no motivation unless the beast is, like, solely controlling him.
Well, I wanted to slightly retroactively have you roll, and then we'll play that full action out. Because you did declare that before Kim would have managed to fully connect with your mind. So go ahead and roll me strength and brawl. Your little bit of brawl. Unless are you doing it with your tentacles?
I mean, what else do you use tentacles for? That's the whole point of having tentacles.
Do you have 4?
Yes. But they count as one thing.
I think that's initiation. She is incapacitated. So,
No, I get 2 attacks. 2 separate attacks.
okay. Then,
But I only need one. Well, unless I somehow miss. I know where she is. I just had my arms on her, so.
Yeah. roll me once first.
One success.
All right. Then roll 1d10 again.
7.
All right, 1 second. All right. You give a good slash against the incapacitated Yvette. You actually hit just where that aggravated wound already was in her back, and essentially, though not.
Oh, no. He wasn't. He's not just like hit. He was going for a specific thing.
Which was?
He was trying to rip her jaw off.
Oh, all right. Well, I was gonna say you practically decapitate her, but let's say you your tentacle also wraps around the back end of her face and pulls her jaw off. Which I imagine Ike at full bloodlust is gonna, hold on to a bit happily. And just at that moment, though, you feel it's almost like cold fingers reaching into your mind and just starts to calm you down. Not necessarily in a peaceful way, but it's almost like a drug, just taking all that heat and fire you had and dousing it, so that while your beast is still growling and chomping at the bit, you feel less inclined to continue this bloody mess.
So I get my humanity roll. Well, is she dead?
I'd say ripping off someone's jaw is pretty inhumane.
Yeah, you know what?
Especially after she was incapacitated.
I
There's no threat to him.
was trying to consider it against a fighting thing, but no, that falls under the humanity problem of
No, this is excessive force. This is very clearly excessive.
There's a phrase for it. I'm drawing a blank, but yeah, no, it's enjoying doing something nasty. So yes, definitely go ahead and roll your humanity. So that'll be your humanity against difficulty 8, I believe. Wait, let me double check that. Conscience against 8. I don't know why I mixed that up. Oh, sad for Ike. So, since you passed your degeneration roll, you feel maybe not necessarily guilt, but you definitely realize there wasn't really need for this action. She was near dead. You could have simply done the job as is. The extra, jaw ripping off portion of your fight with her was a little excessive. And you remember humanity for a strange moment. At that
Oh, he'll probably drop the cloud too. No point in that. If he's not doing anything bad, there's no reason to have it up.
That's what I was going to ask, if Ike was going to keep that up longer.
He'll probably drop the cloud and the arms and just like sit on the floor with the girl's jaw. Still holding it, but just like whatever.
As the cloud drops, Felix, you are outside, though you will notice it, and then both Claudia and the blonde woman with her also see that, and they'll, unless you make a move, they're gonna kind of push you out of the way and dive into the room.
No touch. No touch.
Oh, that's right, you're still electric, aren't you?
Oh,
Alright.
it's arcing all over the place.
Please,
Yeah,
Please,
okay.
please have them push him out of the way.
No touch.
No, Claudia's not that stupid, and neither is the blonde woman. So they're gonna see this, but also the electricity surrounding you, and their feet are gonna move for half a second and then stop.
Felix will let them back. He'll
They both cautiously arc around you and then jump into the doorway. Kim, you are going to feel this sense of relief now that you can actually see with your eyes again. And you see Ike sitting on the floor next to a rapidly decomposing corpse, and a jawbone in his hand that the skin and muscle is, along with the rest of the body in front of him, beginning to decompose, aging insanely quickly. Angel, you will also be witness to this. Nate, you have your fingers deep in this set tight. You'll see the dark fog leave suddenly, and just in front of you is your handiwork. I will need a humanity roll for you too.
Absolutely you will. Alright, so humanity... No,
Conscience against 8.
In fairness, this is, happened last week, but I did, ride a knife down a chick's back. Does that also require a humanity roll?
You did it because remember she was looming over Ike.
I would
that
argue...
wasn't really his motivation. His motivation was this is combat and I need to take out a big threat.
No, I mean that seems pretty.
It's up to Spira.
I'm going to argue for Angel. I'm all for humanity rolls. If you actually want to, you're free to. But I'm going to say Angel is a soldier and protector.
Cool.
His whole motivation about this is
I
that
agree
these
with
set
that.
tights are hurting people.
I agree with that, but, it's up to you.
Yeah.
3 successes. Did you see that sexy ass dice roll?
I
Char,
see
keep
that.
rolling them ones. Keep rolling the ones, Char.
I'm like a bard. I'm just gonna keep buffing you guys by doing
rolls
stupid
the
shit.
ones.
So wait, yeah, you're the party bard.
The bard. The bard can roll all the ones, and it won't really make a difference.
Sorry for any bard players out there.
So yes,
I'm a bard player.
Nate is able to condone his actions in a similar sense that Angel has thus far. This is essentially a small war. These people are coming into your territory. You've seen them hurt people. You know that they would hurt more people with what their plans were. The fact that this individual chose to work with them and follow them is no skin off of your back. Roland, you still had your kind of grapple fight going on with Dominic. He's done a bit of damage to himself though, and you'll see kind of the pain on his face from that aggravated wound he just caused across his face and neck. But you'll also see Claudia and this blonde woman jump into the room. Claudia with a large shotgun in tow.
So I probably dropped my cane right next to me. In one move, can I unsheath the sword and stab him? No, never mind. I'm gonna
No,
bite him
I
with
was
a
no, I was just trying to consider if I would like allow that, but maybe a slightly higher difficulty. So yeah, if you want to.
Nope. I'm gonna bite him. I'm gonna go for the bites. It has to happen. We've done this whole fight. I've just wanted one action to happen, and it hasn't happened.
And I think you've had like 6 turns trying to beat on him.
Oh yeah, it's been a lot.
All right, 1 second.
Just tell me when to roll.
Had to add a couple people to the roster now that they're in the room. Just because there's still a little bit of fighting going on, we're going to do one more round of initiation, but we might be wrapping this up. So everybody give me a single D10 roll, plus the number of your dex and wits, and read them out for me if you can.
17. I don't know what I'll do with that first turn, but I will do something.
I got a 12.
$11.
14.
14.
Don't you have
13.
celerity?
Yes, I do, but if I spend it on initiation, I don't get to spend it on actions.
That's
What was
fair.
your initiation, Ike?
13.
Y'all can talk while I'm busy.
What
Yeah.
what is with these initiation rolls?
Ugh.
I don't know.
Just
To be
ignore
fair, they have +9.
everyone. Just ignore the mangled pile of flesh in front of me. Just ignore it. We don't need to talk about
So
this.
like, is it cut? Like, is it bleeding, or is it literally just like shifted away?
shifted.
It's
Like,
like
I-
if you took a clay model of a person and just like, I'm gonna move this over here and like move this up here and like squish this forward.
The Super,
And there
the
are-
Super Mario Brothers face, the one that you
And
put
there
the
are-
photo-
Picasso in his face.
There are probably literal finger-like marks with like divots in him from where I just haphazardly moved flesh around.
Who did you do that to?
One of the Setites.
Oh,
The unnamed blonde Setite in the room.
male or female?
Male.
Does it matter, Articus? Does it matter?
Why is
It
that
does to
relevant?
Felix.
Oh my god, is Felix a white knight?
I don't know. I just
Um,
have a character sheet that has things on it.
I'm gonna assume that he has a spell that affects men and women differently. What?
Oh, is
Okay,
his
but here's the
sexy spell?
question: does it affect gender non-binary characters?
Okay, I got all my NPCs
Oh my God.
I
ready.
claim to fit.
All right, so I know Roland is bitey bitey. Nate, what are you doing?
I mean, Dominic is really the only one still in the room, right? That's up.
Yeah, your guy is kind of on the ground, holding his face, screaming.
I think I'm gonna take a turn and just kind of step back from him and gather my wits and realize what's going on.
All right, Ike.
Ike's just gonna stand up and walk out of the room unless someone tries to stop him.
Kim.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop him.
Okay, Kim is busy with
Trying
Ike. Angel.
So who is still in the room? Like,
Okay, so
Like-
not you guys. There is Dominic is fighting with Roland. Claudia and blonde lady, Benedict, just ran in the room. You don't know it's Benedict, though. I don't think you even really know Benedict. The Set Tight, who has been massively disfigured, screaming on the ground. The one female ghoul that got knocked over is trying to get out. And Maz is still in the corner, though, now looking around and trying... You can see frantically in his eyes, he's trying to figure out which way to get out of here.
All right. Angel is in fight mode, so he's going to go up and try and stab Dom. Just the once.
All right. Felix.
Let's see. Well, one's already kind of escaped, and he kind of doesn't like the idea that someone could, like, talk about this, so he's just going to kind of step in front of the door, and he has a lot of arcing electricity, so he's going to assume that Ghoul's going to be like, okay, no. No touch.
Yeah, right. And last but not least, we have Claudia and our baby girl, Benedict. Just a second.
I'm sitting here this whole time like, man, who's this blonde chick? And then, yeah.
Alrighty. Roland, go ahead and give me your strength and brawl again.
All right, guys, send me some good voodoo. Let's see if we can make it happen this time. Why do I play this game?
Damn it!
No,
Why do I-
you're a bard. Keep soaking the ones. Soak
Yes,
all of the
all
ones.
at once. We got you, bro. We won't
Why-
let you die.
I've been trying to play this character as a combat character since day one.
Yeah, you
and
have all
sure-
the dots for it. You just can't fucking
I'm
roll.
pretty sure Spira's right. We got to get you some real dice because this just ain't
Something.
working.
No, it won't.
I
The
think Roll
universe
20 hates me.
needs shitty rollers.
I'm going to. Here's the
All
thing.
aboard the roll and fail train.
Here's the thing.
Here we
I'm
go.
I'm going to let the chat, give their goodwill like a spirit bomb for Roland. And if we see some cheering for Roland, I'll let him roll again.
Collect that spirit
Oh,
energy.
Okay,
You'd be
make
like-
sure he has to take the
Raise
second.
your arms, man.
He has to take the second roll, so when he botches, it's worse.
I was gonna say it's just gonna be a worse roll.
You can always spend a willpower, man.
No,
No.
no,
No, fuck that.
fuck that. That's an easy
Why
way
have
out.
one success when you can have 3 failures?
Exactly.
I lend you my energy.
We're gonna give this poor man some generosity.
Head.
Roll it again. Roll again at 7.
You sure you don't want to up it? We could do like 8.
No, come on.
Yeah.
Just
Look at that.
there we go. Now roll that 10,
Come on.
baby.
Booyaka shot.
Oh yeah, alright. Now Dom is still gonna roll himself, but maybe he'll, slice his throat open.
Double botch.
No, he's gonna roll amazing.
He's
Nothing
gonna
but
get
10.
like 13 successes.
Alright.
Look at
So
him.
you two continue to struggle. He keeps your wrists at bay, kind of trying to push you off. There is a bit of a nasty smile on his face, like he is enjoying this a little bit. But you do finally get a good grip on him and sink your teeth into his neck. And you can take at least a good point out of him. And I will say that because Kim and Ike, we're going to get to you in a second, but you're doing more actual kind of role play reactions.
I dementated Dom. I didn't know if it affected him or not. Okay.
Oh, I thought, yeah. And then, so then I want Angel.
It's earlier.
Yeah, I want Angel. You go ahead. Oh, wait. All right. 1 second. Sort of doing that backwards. Do. Alright, just double checking something. Alright. So, Claudia, stepping into the room, gets a good slide and grip of her feet, points her shotgun, and shoots at Dominic. Because of the fight and the movement going on between Roland and Dominic, she gets some damage into his side with, the actual pellets of the shotgun, but it doesn't do a full load of damage just yet. You do hear her cock and reload her gun, though. Now, Angel, you want to go stab Dom?
I would very much like to make stab of him.
Alright, give me Dex and Melee. Do you have any celerity?
I have 3. So that's only 2 successes. Sadly.
Okay. He is otherwise occupied, so there's no real defense here, so just roll those 2 for your damage.
Alright, I don't think I've actually rolled damage, because I rolled so many successes with the snake chick that there was no point in rolling damage, so how does one even make pain?
You got 2 successes, so then you roll those 2 dice to see how much, and it's you roll the total damage versus a difficulty of 6. Each success inflicts 1 level of damage. The die pools will be applied that way, and then there's also going to be the person's soak, which for bashing and lethal, this is going to be lethal, is going to be their stamina and if they have any fortitude.
All right, and strength, how do I add strength? Or is that a thing for damage?
Only potence.
Okay, I have strength and potence, so...
Alright, then you add the amount of potence you have as dice with your successes.
So, 1 success.
Oh, you got a 1 with that.
I thought 1s didn't cancel.
Yes. Yeah, you're right. Never mind.
Yeah, 1s don't cancel and 10s don't explode.
Yep. Alright, so Angel does a nice dive across the room with his large knife. Go ahead and describe it, since it's been working up to this for you.
The darkness goes down, and I'll look around, see that the only combat that's still going is Roland and the guy that we're here for. So I'm gonna run up behind him and get him in a nice kidney stab.
All right, perfect. Let's see. That will put Dominic pretty much at mauled. He is not doing well, and Roland, you have your teeth in him at the moment. He got a couple successes on his defense, so he's still struggling back, but also the kiss still does its work, so he's, losing a little control there. Ike, you stood up after dropping the darkness. Just ahead of you is a young woman trying to run out of the room, but then stops and skids to a halt, seeing Felix in the doorway with all the electricity around his body. As you're moving through the room and the last of the fighting is actually kind of in one corner, you're able to otherwise still kind of walk past it. You see Claudia off to your side with her shotgun up, and Kim is quickly making her way toward you.
Ike is going to keep walking.
Kim is going to try to intercept you. Whoa. Hey, wait, Ike.
Keep walking, unless she tries to touch me.
Yes. No, wait.
Oh.
No, can't. Fuck. She's gonna yell louder though. Ike!
Yeah, he's like dead inside, just leaving.
Alright, even if you get up to where the girl is stopped, Felix is in front of you. Bit of a electric field.
Is he like blocking the entire doorway? I am small.
Yes. And also, the tall blonde woman has her arms folded, kind of just watching this whole scene, and watches as you walk up to the door with like a very furrowed brow, confused look.
The girl's standing in front of Felix?
No, the blonde woman, the very tall...
No, but the girl is still standing in the doorway in front of Felix?
Yes, she's whimpering and begins begging him to let her out.
I'm gonna push her into Felix.
You're pushing
Ike,
me
one's
into
out.
Felix?
No.
Yeah, I'm pushing the girl into
steady,
Felix.
Steady check.
I had a higher initiative than you, so I was gonna try and get in front of you.
Oh, I thought you said you weren't grabbing me.
No, not grabbing you, but try to get in front of you.
Oh, well, I assume he can walk around you? I was saying, unless you're physically stopping him, he's going to just keep walking.
I mean, she's gonna try to get in the way of the door and him, yes.
He'll keep walking towards you, I think is what he's saying, regardless of if you...
Unless, are you right in front of the door to where, like, I can't get around you?
I was trying to, yeah.
Sure, he's just gonna say move.
No, look, are you okay?
Move.
You're still holding a jaw.
Can I roll to get around her? Or is like there's no physical way to get through this door?
Felix is in the way, which is where you're about to push that one girl, and she's even kind of shirking away now from the two of you, just trying to find some safety, because it's still a little chaotic in the room.
Okay.
One last time, please move. I want out of this room.
Okay, I'm coming with you.
I'm sure fighting is going to keep happening, because this is like multiple turns of Ike just walking out, I'm sure. He's out of the initiative order, though, unless someone touches him or hits him. Or
It's
shoots him or something.
a little bit out because you're not fighting, so...
And so I'm saying, if you just want to redo the initiative, because I'm sure their stabbing and shooting is much faster than Ike's walking and talking.
The tall blonde woman that's been standing nearby with her arms folded sighs and looks at Felix. Would you mind moving a couple inches? I feel like I might need to escort these two out of here.
Yeah, sure. And Felix will just... I mean, I think it only lasts on him for about like 4 rounds, so it might be dispersing right now.
I think it's probably, yeah, that should be about the right time. So even if he wasn't planning on it, it starts to like kind of fizzle and crackle away.
No, he just shrugs and then it crackles away. He's like,
Okay.
and moves.
As Lady Ben is sort of standing with Ike and Kim, the small ghoul woman darts out like a little weasel, just like actually really low to the ground and tries running out of there.
Felix isn't going to be a fan of that, though, however.
That's fair. You have higher initiative, so you can try and grab her if you want.
Yeah, just something like that. Just kind of intercept her and, like, try to talk to her somehow. I don't know how you get someone's attention who thinks that you were going to fry them earlier, but we'll try something. It's Felix.
All right. If you want to, because you're gonna have to be quick, I'll let you roll Dex and Athletics to try and get a hold of her arm.
Woo! That's probably a thing. Oh, I actually have some dice for that.
Yeah.
He works out. He works out. Thanks, Chocolate Bear. That was from you. I take that.
You guys are welcome.
All right. Felix reaches out. His hand sees this little slippery snake of a girl try and get out of the room and grabs hold of her arm.
Oh, no, you don't.
All right. So Ike is leaving the room with Kim and a tall blonde woman with them.
If they're following me, Ike is not following them. But I'm going to walk out of the room, yes, and look around and see if I see Father anywhere.
If you look around the second floor, Felix at first hadn't noticed anyone, but since you were looking for him, there is a man very far off in a dark corner, just sitting in a back booth, not doing anything other than quietly waiting.
Is this blonde woman following me?
The blonde woman's sticking by for now.
Do I know a blonde woman?
No.
No, you do not. Neither do I. I'm like, who the fuck is
Ike's
this?
Ike's just gonna go over the stairs to walk outside. He's done.
So you're heading down the stairs?
Yeah, Ike's walking outside. He's just cold at the moment.
All right. Blonde woman is going to follow you. Is Kim following?
Absolutely.
All right, we're going to check back with them in a second. Let's see last of what our boys are doing. All right, I'm just going to keep initiative, so... Roland, I want you to roll Strength and Brawl to keep your grip on Dominic.
Yeah. One success.
All right. He is under the kiss and in quite a bit of pain, so I am going to say that your one success keeps him down. Nate, you said that you were kind of in an observing mode, feeling a little bit, fine with what you did, but maybe...
I mean, technically fine. That doesn't mean he's not still kind of just like, fuck.
Yeah, we all know Nate feels very iffy about his flesh crafting. Are you doing anything else, though? Are you still just sort of taking this all in?
So Claudia hasn't come inside yet because it sounded like she was at one point.
She just shot Dominic. And you know how perceptive she is.
Well, the guy's still alive, so he's obviously Kindred, and I was correct in that assumption. Is he still screaming bloody murder?
He's kind of gone into shock. He's laying on his side, just curled up in the fetal position.
Oh, perfect. Is there a piece of wood or something sharp I can grab and shove through his heart?
You'd have to break a table. There are wooden little, like, coffee tables, but you'd have to break one.
I have no qualms with this.
Actually, you could use one of your bone knives if you want. I house rule that anything through the heart works.
Yeah, I'll just grab one of the knives and shove it through his heart to put him in torpor. We'll deal with that later.
Alright. So, Blonde set tight is in torpor. Well, is paralyzed. Alright, Claudia's gonna do some more fire.
Jesus.
I mean, you have him held still about 2 feet from her. Why not? Let's see. Oh wait, that was supposed to be 6s, but actually that's still all successes.
Chocolate Bear sitting over there like, F it.
Why? What happened? Do I need to change my name? Is there some weird Roll20 algorithm that my name only gives me more 1s than successes?
No, it is the universe that hates you.
So this is a weird one.
You need to do some more good things in your daily life.
So,
You are another Will Wheaton.
So, Roland, you get a second blood point out of Dominic, and since you were a part of the kiss and he has the addictive blood that you were addicted to, you were lost in feeding on Dominic. Claudia takes a couple casual steps up to him, places her shotgun against the side of his head, aiming a little bit back away so you don't have to deal with any of the shrapnel, and fires, basically leaving nothing but the neck you're biting into. Dominic falls away from your grip and, much like his sire, begins decomposing on the ground.
Does he have to? Can he just decompose while I still hold on to him?
Sure.
Thank you.
But he is dying, and you would have heard this, so I don't know how... I would need you to roll if you want to be that desperate out, still feeding on the dead guy.
Oh, yeah. It's good. Yeah, no, and watch. This is going to be my good roll. What do I roll? Just same, just the dex and...
No.
Or strength.
I will need... stamina, and brawl. It's a little unorthodox, but it has to be something about you actually, like, holding on to this.
2.
Alright, you continue to hold on to Dominic, and while he will pretty much immediately start decomposing, he was not as old as Yvette, so you get about another half a blood point out before you starts tasting absolutely disgusting, and you can feel his body, you know, decaying and aging at a rapid pace.
Then I'll let him go. And just stare down at him.
Angel, you were privy to all this fun.
Seeing all of this fighting and stuff, but seeing Kim chase after Ike, I'm going to follow. I'm going to follow Kim. I'm gonna debate and then be like, shit.
No one gave a shit about Ike this much before. What the hell?
Excuse me, that is not true.
I'm giving a shit about Cam.
What about that massive time we all sat down and had just like
Do I need to bring
4
up the
hours
picture
of
again?
our
I drew a
feels.
fucking picture, you piece of shit.
That's
Felix
true,
was
but
there.
you did stab him and drive him insane.
I did not.
Felix was.
I did not.
I only did one of those things.
Nate is innocent?
I did not stab him. I did not.
I most certainly did not
I-
drive him insane.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Oh, hi, Ike. Is that a stab wound in your chest?
So how's your stab life?
All right. I think this is perfect time to take a little break. And then we will get back to wrapping this all up. Essentially, we won't really need initiation anymore. Maybe, depending on a couple things. But for the most part, you guys did good with all of that combat rolling, which is probably the first in some 20 episodes. But yeah. Everyone in the chat, we're just gonna take a couple minutes break, grab, drinks or go to the bathroom or anything like that. Feel free to ask us questions about ourselves as players, me as storyteller, or about the characters, the story, anything pop into mind, and then we'll just chat for a couple minutes.
What kind of werewolves would you be if you weren't vampires but werewolves?
Oh, Gallier, obviously. I don't know
Lagabash.
otherwise.
Yeah, I have no clue what any of you are saying. I just
Yeah,
know
I
that
haven't-
Angel probably be a glass walker. That sounds right.
Fucking warrior bard, bro. Fucking yes.
I don't even know how to answer that question.
Lagabash or the Troll Tribe?
Or what kind of changeling would you be?
I don't know what that is.
Neither. Nope. Also can't answer that one.
Pukas are
Angels-
adorable.
Wait. Kim would be a puka.
Oh, Kim, no. Elvish Dame, yes.
I'm asking if you had instead been a changeling instead of a vampire.
Oh, actually, she probably would have been a she or a cine or whatever you say that.
Oh, that's fair. Definitely gonna have to say knocker for Angel.
Yeah, that would be the second closest one, but not. for
What's
that
the
for-
OP mage type? I'll take that one.
No.
I'll
I
be a
don't
mage,
think there
became a
is one.
changeling.
All right,
I
guys.
mean, they're all kind of magey.
It
Lord.
would be an issue.
Lord
Good
asked a
questions.
question. Yeah, Lord asked a
Yeah.
question.
Real quick.
It's Halloween and you found a kid pretending to be a vampire. No parents around. What is your character's reactions? By reactions, I think he means what would you do to that kid?
You need a ghost buddy. I would give you a
Kim would
friend.
give them candy
They'll protect
and
you
think
tonight,
they
kid.
were a trick-or-treater and send them on their way.
Felix will
Unless
give
you
him a
got
ghost
some
buddy.
different kind of impression from that. He likes kids.
Roland would murder his parents and turn him into no.
That sounds accurate.
That
you know
happens.
what? That'll be par for the course there for Roland.
Oh, yeah.
Just once.
Yeah, I know. All of the one time.
Guys, you murder one set of parents and turn one kid, and that's just what everyone thinks you're gonna do forever.
Right now,
mean,
you have
basically, yeah.
100% turn rate.
With
That's-
children. That
Yeah.
killed. I'm not entirely sure what
Keep it up, guys. It's just gonna. I keep on
you
doing
know
it.
what though? The dice are punishing you for your.
Yeah, right.
Dice karma.
Angel would probably
This is
sigh
dice
heavily.
karma for Roland being a shitty person.
Yeah, Angel would sigh heavily, give the kid candy, and shoo him away so he didn't have to deal with haunting memories.
Roland would probably just do some vampire stuff so that the kid would know vampires would be real, but no one would believe him, and then just go on his way.
Why you gotta be a troll?
Ike,
Roland hates humans.
Ike
Would
would
probably
go
kill
trick or treating with the kid, and dominate people to give them more candy.
That sounds kick-ass a little bit. Kim would actually be down for that one if she was in on it.
And I choose to believe that if anyone tries picking on the kid that is with Ike will shadow play his face to terrify anybody trying to screw with him. But he'd make sure the little kid couldn't see him, so he was.
I'm just picturing like a bully comes out to fuck with the kid, and Ike just grabs him with a dozen tentacles and rips him in half.
This humanity, yes, that is exactly what would happen. And then Ike would look at the kid and be like, "Don't bully people; it's not nice." As the kid now has the worst PTSD ever.
Oh yeah,
I'll be right back.
reminds me of the Dungeons and Dragons game that I ran, where there was this Dragonborn paladin, and he hadn't spent any of his spell slots all session, and there was one goblin left, and it had 1 hit point. It's like, fuck it, I'm gonna spend all my highest level spell slot on a smite because I haven't been able to do this. And he crits, and he rolls all of the friggin' dice, and he hears whimpering behind him, and he turns around and forgot that there were a bunch of kids and families trapped in cages behind them. So he putting the goblin in front of a bunch of children. Yeah, that kids developed a phobia of Dragonborn that day.
But I'm helping.
And just to round out that question, Nate would have the boring, I would ignore the kid and keep walking.
You know who's really a horrible person? You guys, for not helping him find his parents. This is just a kid just walking around lost, and you're all just
It's
messing with him.
Yeah, they're supposed to be walking around. What do you expect them to go trunk or treating?
You didn't even
that
ask. He
stupid
could have
shit?
just been like a 5-year-old kid who was just lost from his parents.
No,
You
and
guys
then
know.
it's
You're like, where's
survival
dinner?
of the
I need your
fittest.
parents.
If the kid was worthy, he would find his way home and survive. And
Worthy.
As is expected on Halloween.
I don't know, guys.
Besides, the question was if a kid wearing a vampire costume, not a crying kid. If they had added the adjective crying, things might have changed. Probably wouldn't.
Kind of, maybe.
It would see now. It would depend on why the kid was crying.
I would turn them into a ghost, so I had another ghost buddy. I'm not alone.
Did you
I
just
would,
threaten to murder the child?
No,
I
I'm
feel
threatening
like-
to become Casper the Ghost.
I feel like Felix has a little bit too much humanity for that. Just a smidge.
Ask what
No,
my
I thought he said
humanity
he would
level was
turn
at
the kid into a ghost. I'm like,
Yes. That's what he said. He said he was going to murder the kid and keep their spirit from passing on.
That's a lot of stacking the events. I just said it turned into a ghost. You'd be fine.
In order to become a ghost, you must kill them and make their spirit not move on.
Well, I'm a Tremere, so not necessarily.
fucking Tremere. Just
Tremere
gonna
best
make like a
friend.
little sign, like the old school Roadrunner signs that the coyote would hold up. It's just gonna say fucking Tremere every once in a while.
Oh, no, I actually have one. I'll post the image in a second.
Okay, I have a question from Nebshake. So Angel, as much as he's into muscle cars and that's his big deal, he appreciates the beauty of any vehicle serving its purpose. He thinks that a minivan taking kids to soccer practice is beautiful because it's serving its purpose. That's what it was built for, so that's what it should be doing. So yes, if a golf cart was being used on a golf course, he would be happy with it, and it might just entrance him.
There you go.
But
boss.
usually he gets entranced by expensive, fancy muscle cars.
Goddamn Mongolian Tremeres.
If you
Alright.
haven't seen that, it's amazing. Sorry.
You're fine. I was just gonna get back to it. I scrapped my last piece of paper that makes no sense because it's all letters and numbers. And ready for a new piece of paper. Why are we all seal clapping?
We're
Wow.
mimicking Zabani's cat.
Okay. I think Zabani's camera just froze.
He deserves it.
There it is.
Back.
He deserves it.
I mean, that's fair.
Alright, recap, make sure everybody knows where everybody is. Claudia and Roland, Angel and Nate are still in the VIP room. Dominic and Yvette are super dead. Maz, it was still kind of in the corner, the poor little harpy. Just trying to not be noticed at this point. And the other set tight is staked by Nate and super disfigured. Ike and Kim are starting to walk down the stairs to the first floor with a large blonde woman trailing them. Ike, you didn't see Father get up from that table before you left, but as you said, you're just kind of cold and just want to leave. As the three of you head down the stairs, you do actually spot Samuel, the Ventrue Primogen that you've seen before, as well as two others. What's up, Zabani?
I also follow him
Okay, you're following them, not you're leaving the room? Okay.
because Kim.
That's right, you're following Kim. Okay, so Ike, Kim, Blonde Woman, and Angel are heading down the stairs. You will all notice Samuel, the Ventrue Primogen. You've seen him before. And there are two others that I don't know if you two have seen before. For reference, it is Byron and Marcus, two of the other Bruja that Claudia know. They're off in the side of the club. The first floor looks kind of in a bit of a mess. A lot of tables and chairs are turned over. It looks like it was vacated very quickly. Even the bartenders seem to be gone. So besides those three kindred standing, there are two corpses on the ground near them. And off by the door is a police officer leaning against the wall with his arms folded. Let's start upstairs real quick. Claudia, Roland, and Nate, you are alone in the VIP room.
Dang it, and I was hoping to just sit back and enjoy the drama about to happen downstairs. So the three of us are alone. There's a staked vampire and two bodies. I don't think Nate would be the first one to say anything. He would just kind of... Actually, at this... No.
Roland would probably say something to Claudia.
Yeah, Nate's just gonna stand there looking kind of just like slightly like a kid who's in trouble.
He'll turn and kind of look at her. We had one detail about this, Claudia, and Dominic was mine. That was it.
Claudia sighs and tosses the shotgun she had in her one hand to a coffee table behind her. It says, "Yeah, and if you'd seen the way you're drinking from him, you would have stopped yourself as well."
I don't know why I would.
He was in no position to fight back. What, did you want to diablerize him?
I don't even know what that means.
She has a hand fly to her forehead. Oh my god.
But thank you. If it wasn't for you, this wouldn't have happened. I'm sorry.
Claudia turns and looks at Nate. Her expression isn't very easily readable, but she does look down at the body on the ground. So, any thoughts on what we're supposed to do with that one?
What with the bodies?
She doesn't look back at Roland. She's still just kind of facing Nate's direction.
I haven't decided. I don't know, dude. If you want information from him or something, he's yours. But otherwise, I kind of just want to let the sun clean him up.
She sighs and rubs her temples and doesn't respond right away. I think, and she seems to just suddenly realize that Maz is in the corner and groans very hard. What?
Maz is the Toreador harpy, correct?
Yes. So
Just-
she very quickly stomps over to the corner and bends down in front of him. Maz, are you alright? He looks up, not shaking, but just very unhappy with this whole situation. And he starts to stand up, feeling a little bit more comfortable seeing Claudia. What the hell is going on, Claudia? Just Maz, calm down. This is it's a long story, and I can explain all of it. Just please, how about you head downstairs? Samuel's down there. He can probably explain it or get you out of here. And Maz, kind of, with his suit, just ruffles it and tries to leave the room with some sense of dignity.
I forgot he was there.
Yeah, he got kind of caught in your crossfire. Let's see, I have a picture of him.
I was just
Here's
scared.
the pretty boy.
I was just scared of the little Tremere.
So Maz, just tries to leave the room, doesn't look at any of you, just eyes straight forward, and you can hear him outside the room walking down the stairs. Back downstairs, we have our fellows walking down back onto the first floor. Ike is ahead, with Kim and Angel following, and the tall blonde woman even let Angel, who was slightly behind them, go ahead.
And we came upon the scene with the police officer and the 2 dead bodies.
There's 3, you can kind of assume kindred, because one of them is Samuel. And then there's 2 bodies on the floor and a cop by the door, who doesn't seem all that bothered by what's going on.
Do we recognize the bodies?
Yes, if you look closely, there's some decay and aging, but just even by their clothes, you're pretty sure they're 2 of the other Setites that came in.
Right.
Do I recognize the cop?
Nope.
Is anyone stopping Ike? Or is anyone in Ike's way?
They're right behind you on the stairs, so if you reach the end of the stairs, Angel and Kim, you let me know what your plan is.
I mean,
Well, I meant like any of the people I saw, the cops, the other people. Like...
Sam and his crew, are any of them going to block him?
They're a few yards away, because they're, on the first floor off by the booths, off on the side, so again, back in the picture.
So what's my possible emotional range here?
What do you mean by that?
What is Ike allowed to feel? Like what are his outer limits of emotion at the moment?
You're still at 4.
No, but I have an hour
passion.
of passion. He's de-passioned. That's why he's just coldly walking.
Oh, of course. It's dulling, so it's not that you can't feel any emotions. It is just that and specifically, she did target that heated bloodlust kind of passion you had going on. So other emotions really aren't exactly dulled as much.
I actually can't target a specific emotion, but if that's what
The rules are
Oh,
all he's just damp in general. He's just kind of like
And
muted.
I think it can target a specific emotion, but that's up to the storyteller discretion. I think is what
Well, it said it could crank up or down, and you cranked down, right?
Yeah.
So you can empower, unpower. Anyway, Ike's kind of cold at the moment. I mean, they're like his 2 emotions. So but anyway, he's gonna keep walking.
Hold on real quick. I want to clarify. Yeah, so it's not exactly that they can pick one, but the wording also says it affects what they're feeling. So I say that since you were in kind of a bloodlusty rage, that's what dulled. I'm gonna say your ability to have a higher emotional range is kind of stunted, but otherwise, like it's not that you can't still feel, one way or another. You can still be upset, annoyed, just not very passionately any of those feelings.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Okay. Sorry, the puppy was crying. He needs Wouters.
Oh, doggy.
Go pupper. I'm just kind of looking towards Kim.
Kim is gonna try to talk to Ike in a second. Not in front of all these people, though. Like, if he wants to go outside, she'll go outside with him.
Since this, I'm gonna leave this to the storyteller because I don't think I'm able to make a good call on this. But would Ike have an idea of maybe what happened? She's been in his head once already, although not for this. And he does know about the clans. I don't know how, like, his granular knowledge of these kind of mindy things. But I don't know. He knows what dominate feels like. I don't know how these, like, feelings go. But does he have an idea of what happened to him? And maybe who?
I will say, yeah, if you kind of consider Ike would have a bit of this inclination that it was, one, a discipline, and two, that you know Kim's a Malkavian, yeah, maybe you have at least suspicion.
Yeah, but Ike's gonna go for the door, step outside.
Okay. I'm going to follow him, I guess.
Alright, 1 second. I do need to roll something. Alright, you guys are heading down the stairs into the first floor, and Ike is just kind of beelining for the exit. As he starts to get closer, that cop that was leaning against the wall with his arms folded is going to stand his feet and put a hand out. Hold on. I'm waiting for Claudia's call on this. Can't have you leaving just yet.
Please move, sir.
Sorry, kid, but got strict orders, so no one's leaving just yet. We got a specific...
I'm just a kid. What do I couldn't have done have anything to do with this. Just let me go home.
Samuel.
I am going to, knowing what I just did, I am going to kind of prepare to celerity dash this cop out of the way if Ike tries to actually harm the guy.
Glad you said that. Ike's gonna just push the cop. Not punch, but just two hands right into his stomach. And I'm gonna spend... Ike really badly wants to get out of here. We'll throw 3 blood points into strength.
Alright, we're basically gonna need a little bit of initiation then, because we've got a couple people. Angel is already ready to stop Ike from doing anything crazy.
Spira, you might be muted on the chat.
1 second.
At least a couple people are reporting that. Oh, no, getting a good no.
I might not have been holding the button down enough. Alright, so, Ike and Angel, go ahead and give me your initiation.
God damn it.
Alright, and you wanted to pump blood into strength.
Yep.
Alright, you got the highest, and it's... I'm not gonna exactly go through, because I already know what Angel's doing. Kim is also lower than that, and Sam, even though he could help, didn't realize the way this was going exactly. So Ike... you, go ahead and roll strength and brawl to knock this cop out of your way.
And in my gen, I can push up into 6 points in an attribute, right?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
Ken.
All right. Is it strength and brawl to push the guy?
Yeah.
Three successes. Or sorry, 2.
Okay, go ahead and describe your action. Then Angel and Kim, you can follow up after he completes his action.
Ike is like almost very childlike, like super like a toddler trying to get away from their parents while they're upset or like, sad. Not even like furious, just like get away from me. I just want like don't touch me. He's just gonna like 2 hands forward and just push into this guy's stomach with all of his now 6 strength blood or might.
Alright, as you do so, the cop goes flying a little bit, definitely a few feet off in the direction you shove him. Samuel is going to bark, "Oi!" And even the 2 men that were with him start heading in your direction. Angel and Kim, your reaction?
I am, however this takes, readying an action to move anyone out of the way of tentacles. That is my focus. Is he can hurt people. I don't want him killing anyone.
Oh, fuck. I don't know, can't even do
Calm him
anything.
again.
I would think by his body language, you can tell he's not trying to. He's just trying to get people out of the way.
Yeah,
Well, I'm saying I think that he would have like an obvious childlike. If you've seen a child try to get away from an adult when they just don't want to be around them.
Yeah, but I've also now seen a child rip a jaw off a lady, so, things are not usual right now.
That's a fair point. I'm just saying for anyone who's, empathetic or that kind of stuff, they
The
might
thing is that
recognize
Kim
the body
doesn't want to
language.
stop him from leaving, but she wants to be able to go with him. But she does want him to stop him from hurting anyone. That's why she wants to go with him, so... I'm not sure what I'm going to do. Yeah. Nope. No clue. Sorry.
Okay. You can even take a second, because actually, back up on the second floor, where Claudia, Roland, and Nate are, Claudia's gonna hear some of this commotion going on, and you realize after she wrapped up with Maz, she's starting to look a little antsy. She looks back at the body on the floor after Nate had dealt with it, and just shakes her head. "We need to get out of here. People will take care of that," she says, just vaguely motioning in the direction of the other set tight on the floor. "Let's go." And she leaves the room, heading down the stairs.
Nate's not going to comment and just almost emotionlessly follow her.
What's up, Felix?
So Felix grabbed the chick and
Yes.
tried to figure out where he's situated and all this that's going on.
Outside the door. So Claudia is trying to get all of them to leave the VIP room. You're still there with the girl. Claudia
Gotcha,
will
gotcha.
see you. If you have a reaction to that, or if you wanted to do something with her first.
I wanted to try to calm her and talk to her a little bit.
Okay. There's a few minutes, so go ahead and talk to the young woman.
Hey, calm down. It's okay. I'm not going to hurt you, and no one else is going to hurt you. Okay? Calm down.
She's breathing heavily and looks like she's about to start crying. Probably was a little bit already in the room. Her cheeks are a little puffy, and she's struggling against your arm. Just let me go. I'm not going to do anything.
Is she a 3?
Yes, actually, she's probably close to a 4 because she was one of, Dominic's schools.
I assumed, but I wasn't going to assume.
No, I had to think about it. I went, no, it's Dominic's school. Of course, she's like near a 4.
All right. Let's see. Shut up, Tucker. It's out of 5, not 10. Let's see. Felix is going to definitely feel real bad about that, and he's going to loosen his grip to try to feel comfortable, and then like, look, just listen to me. Please don't run out here. I need to talk to you so nothing goes wrong, okay? And I'll use a roll if you
Sure.
want to. At any difficulty too, because she's freaking out.
No. Again, I usually if you guys role play right, I'm more concerned with you doing that than asking to roll something. So, actually, she does start to calm down a little bit. Felix is a bit of a charmer. So she, and she realizes, her Domitor is basically just killed, and everyone else she knew is either dead or ran away. So she doesn't even know what to do with herself at the moment. So she relaxes, still very tense and upset, but she is looking at you, waiting for what you want to say.
Okay. My name is Felix Cote. Okay? I am just someone who was in this situation, kind of like you. I probably just knew a little more. But it's okay. Just breathe a little bit. What is your name?
She takes in a small breath. Samantha.
Okay, Samantha. It will be okay. Now, I am also afraid for your friend there who ran out. Do you know her name as well?
Yeah, that was Jackie.
Okay. So, listen to me. This is going to be very difficult. I realize that you probably have a connection to what is happening, and you might feel a little different from what's going on right now. So, you're okay, alright? You'll be fine. I know that, adrenaline's still pumping and everything. I get it, If you need someone to talk to, you can talk to me. I'd give you my phone number, but I'm not very good with technology.
She shakes her head a little slowly with what you're saying, and especially when you get to the bit about the technology, she lets out a very nervous, pent up kind of laugh. Yeah, okay. At that point, that's when Claudia dives out of the room, sees you with the girl, and with that look of like, we don't have time for this, just kind of, Felix, we need to get going, just bring her along. And she starts running down the stairs.
Well, apparently we're rushing. Okay, so follow me, it's okay. And Felix will keep going with her. And you need to contact Jackie. Okay? And
Samantha's nodding along as you explain all this.
At least for tonight, don't even say anything. Just say you got high, drugs, whatever you want to do. Just don't say anything, because that puts everybody in danger. You understand?
Yeah, of course.
I know you guys are freaking out. It's natural to freak out. I'm a little freaked out. You saw me kind of buzzing a light for a minute. I am just trying to make sure that everyone's level and we can talk about this later.
She continues nodding, kind of stuttering as she speaks. But yeah, I'll call Jackie. I'll make sure. Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna write down your phone number because it will take me at least 15 minutes to figure it out on my phone. So can you give me your number, please?
And she looks around, realizing she doesn't have a purse or anything. Wherever her purse was is gone, and I don't know. Could she remember it?
Oh no, Felix put a notepad out with a pencil.
Oh, okay, good. And
because he has everything.
Of course he does. Why did I even? Yeah. So she'll scribble her phone number and her name. Even underneath it, she'll write Jackie, like as a reminder. Her shaking or her handwriting is pretty shaky. Otherwise, looks very nice, very feminine. As you guys trail down the stairs, you see the same sight. So there's Samuel near the front with Angel, Kim, Ike.
Who's Samuel?
Samuel's the Venture Primogen.
Yes.
You barely know him, but
Just
yeah.
vaguely.
Yeah.
I don't know by name, I don't think.
Big buff guy. Looks, very clean shaven and just well kept. And there is a cop on the floor, kind of a few feet from Ike, who Ike looks a little distraught. The blonde woman that had been there a little earlier is gone, but you do see now another cop that's about her height standing by the bar.
Did you say the cop was on the ground?
The one cop that was by the door is on the ground. There is another one now standing by the bar that Kim and Angel would have probably seen the blonde woman turn into.
That's fair enough. Felix is just like, wee, over my head.
Mm-hmm.
And sorry, to repeat that again, it was Jackie and
Samantha.
Thank you very much. 2 Sams.
All
right.
And last but not least, there is a man in a very nice suit standing off to the side of the stairs, a little bit more in the shadows. After all of the to-do, he's going to speak up, single syllable, deep, kind of booming voice. Ike.
Ike will stop dead, and the hair on the back of his neck will bristle, and he's going to feel. He's gonna shiver, and then just have that look that any scared kid does, where it's I'm not mad, I'm disappointed, and he's just gonna freeze and not say anything, and just look down at the floor.
The man in the very nice suit, with a cane in hand, starts walking towards the group in front of Ike, and not in any sort of rude way, but in the sort of commanding elder gentleman sort, just walks through them up to Ike and puts a hand on his shoulder. What's up, Nate?
You're not talking.
Can't hear you.
I have to push to talk, that's right. We're still upstairs on our way down at this point?
No, you made it down the stairs, so that's why I was explaining you guys can all see this now.
Okay. As soon as I see him, I am slinking away into just, not noticeably, but just trying to minimize myself.
Kim keeps herself within a protective distance. I don't think she would step between them, but she would be pretty close, despite not liking being close to people.
So the unknown man, speaking with Ike, his hand on his shoulder, says, "Perhaps it's time to go home."
Ike's just gonna say very quietly, yes.
Excuse me, I'm sorry, who are you?
The man is going to turn to Kim, give her a look up and down. What interest is it of yours? And he's going to look to Ike, too, kind of like should introductions be made?
Ike's not gonna say anything, or even look.
Ike is my friend. I'm Dr. Kim Brown.
The man actually steps up and reaches out his hand that's free from his cane and says, "Well, Dr. Kim Brown, I'm glad to hear that Ike has some friends. My name is Cairn Stark. I'm his sire."
It is a pleasure to meet you. She doesn't shake his hand. She can't. She tries. Her hand does this kind of thing, and she just can't.
You can see, you've often found from some kindred that seem to know what they're doing. He just recognizes that, it's not a rude thing. You have a bit of a spatial thing. So he puts his hand back on his cane and just gives you a friendly nod.
as soon as he says that, Nate's hand is going to dart out and grab Claudia's wrist and start squeezing very hard and just kind of hoping she does something because he's freaking out.
She looks at Nate, confused. They have a very tight, good relationship, but she's still not exactly sure what he's trying to get at.
I mean, the dude just said that.
No. She knows, but like she's not sure what you want her to do. She's giving you the look of like, what? Do you want me to shoot him too?
Nate's eyes are just gonna like that. Yeah, I want to shoot him, but it's Nate's sire, so I don't. But yeah, I want to shoot him, but Nate's sire or Ike's sire, so I don't.
Claudia's gonna put her hand on all of your face and just turn it slightly away. At this time, Samuel the Ventrue is going and helping the police officer up off the ground and trying to speak to him in a calming manner. If anyone wants to roll me perception alertness, you might notice something special.
Okay. Why not?
Ike's not paying attention.
Angela's paying
What's the
hyper attention
difficulty?
to everything.
Just regular.
Angel is hyper vigilant of everything and is ready to move at at a moment's notice for anything ever, always. Rough.
All right.
I'm using the 3D ones now too.
Yeah. So Angel or Felix and Kim, you'll see Samuel help the cop up off the ground, and you'll notice that he's speaking very closely with him. The cop seems to calm down immediately. Angel, you'll notice a very distinct eye contact, like eyes exactly together with the cop. And you do know Sam is a Ventrue.
Mm-hmm. ...
Alright, so Sam and Byron and Mark are kind of like sweeping the area, keeping things under control while these ragtag fellas come down from the second floor. Claudia is trying to keep Nate calm. Felix, you are walking with the poor young girl, also similarly trying to keep her calm. The cop who was recently near the bar, not the one that was knocked over, starts walking in a round arch that in a way to like kind of catch all of your eyes. All right, everybody, break it up, let's get the fuck out of here. And he starts kind of doing this motion and pointing to the back door. The real cops are going to take care of the front. Let's go.
With being pushed aside, Nate will probably be the first to just move, and probably too quickly moving towards the exit and getting the fuck out.
Felix will take Samantha with him and be like, let's not have that questioning. You don't want to answer questions, Samantha? I don't want to answer questions. Do you?
No. I just want to get out of here.
Me too. Let's get out of here.
Angel's not budging an inch until Kim does something.
Oh, I don't know. What is
Karen is gonna have his he's gonna return his hand to Ike's shoulder and like in a very kind of fatherly way, not pushing, just like it's a grip that Ike understands, and he's guiding him out the back of the building, but allowing everyone else to sort of go ahead first.
Okay. Right. I don't think I can do anything there. So, is there anyone that is injured at all or anything? Like, I know everyone's kind of leaving.
So Ike and Daddy Darkness are leaving?
Yes. You, Kim, you would have noticed that Byron and Mark have a couple marks on them, but they seem like they're healing up all right, you know.
Is anyone
But on
who is
them,
not kindred injured?
there's not really anybody else here.
Just making. I'm doing my doctor thing, bro.
I'm just letting you know, everyone looks okay except for the corpses.
Okay. Well, she wants to follow them, but is a little afraid. So.
What are the corpses? Sorry. I
Where
my
are they?
character was up. No, my character was upstairs, so I wasn't zonked into that. What were the corpses?
You did notice all the Setites coming in, so you'll see that they're in the same clothes.
It was the Setites.
Mhm.
Okay.
Basically, the last one left alive that isn't a ghoul is the one upstairs that's all mangled up
That's all good.
a little bit.
Kim will start leaving where people are directing them to go.
All right.
So Ike and Daddy Darkness are leaving. Yes.
Yes. They were behind Nate, Claudia, Felix, and that ghoul. What's up?
Kim keeps her eyes on them.
Can I whistle for a ghost friend to follow me?
Sure.
I have him for the night.
Oh yeah.
As
Samantha
Ike,
is gonna see your ghost buddy and maybe look. Oh wait, can nobody else see it?
Not typically, no.
Okay,
Unless they do awareness.
You had one that you could show off to people. This is the other
That's
one.
That's not this one.
Okay, that's
Yes, this is the one that doesn't like to. This one's shy.
Yeah, she's just a ghoul, so she wouldn't notice. So never mind then.
Yeah, that's the guardian who can be kind of more revealing because he goes the ring, 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 ring when he's bad.
Right. Yeah. No, Ike and his sire Karen are leaving. Kim and Angel, are you trying to walk behind?
I'm following them.
Yes.
Okay, so you guys want to leave
Yep.
after them.
The intent, unless Kim follows closer, my intent was to switch on sight and follow them from a long distance.
Oh fuck! I know what I want to
Trail.
do. I want a 3rd level dementation. I want to read the patterns.
I was kind of waiting to see if you wanted to use that for anything, but that was a great time.
It just was fucking like not in my head for a second.
That's
Sorry.
fine. That's a great. This is actually probably a better time than during the fight. All right. To keep this in order, Nate and Claudia are going to be first out the door. She's going to keep herself very close to Nate, who is being very jumpy about a certain somebody being present. So she's going to kind of even like wrap her arm around his shoulder and, you know, speaking quietly. Do you want to just go back to the apartment? Is there anything else you need to take care of?
I can't think of anything. Let's just get the fuck out.
All right. Outside, you can hear quite a bit of commotion. Back out on the street, it sounds like a mix of, you know, cop cars. There's a couple quiet sirens coming, on their way to the club, and it sounds like the commotion of, you know, a crowd that's trying to find out what craziness is going on instead of the smarter thing of getting away. So she's gonna, you know, wrap her arm around your or underneath yours and start leading you, you know, through the rest of the back alleys, so you can find a clean spot on the road to grab a cab. Next, out of the building will be Felix and Samantha. Are you going to just try and get her a cab?
Let's see. With ghouls, I'm making semi-assumptions, but I want to make sure to confirm with you. Because they're ghouls and have that addiction to their sire, and the sire's now dead, there's this awkwardness between it, and I feel like maybe they would end up getting into worse trouble unless someone kindred actually helps them through that process. And we are 4 dots of Felix is willing to help and make that sacrifice.
What occurs is that they remain addicted to Vitae, basically. They want to seek it out. They want to have someone be a Domitor for them. Of course, if the person is dead, there's no specific tie. It's just this lingering memory. And of course, if they're well versed in exactly what it means to no longer be a ghoul, they might be afraid of aging, depending on how long they've been a ghoul. Losing that, like, some of that extra speed and strength that comes along with it.
I think you can crash really quickly too.
If the person dies, they'll kind of feel it, but otherwise, like, as long as the blood's still in their system, they'll be fine until it dissipates. So it takes a month to lose 1 point.
Yes. Okay. So this is plenty of time, no rush, if anything.
As long as she has even, like, 1 in her system, she'll probably be okay for about a month. But yeah, even so... And she was, not that you know this, but kind of out of character. She was Dominic's ghoul, which might make it worse, because he had addictive blood.
Oh, yeah, Felix does.
No, of course. Story-wise.
Yes, fair enough. So Felix is going to, get her a cab. Well, not him. He has no idea how to do that. But, he's going to go, do you need a cab? I don't know how to contact one, but you probably should get a cab. I will be in contact with you. This is a little awkward, but you just had your link broken, and we have time, but you're going to be in trouble after a minute, okay? How old are you?
She looks a little confused. Wait, what?
How old are you? Oh, sorry.
I mean, 25. What are you talking about?
25 before? You're recent, is what I'm saying. How long have you been under the influence?
With Dominic? Not that long, I guess.
You guess? How long? A year?
A few months.
Okay, that's good. I was about
Why
to panic.
Why is that good? What does that mean?
Well, if you were like 100 years under him, it'd be a lot different than what we're talking about right now. So I'll be in contact and I'll explain everything. But tonight, just get with Jackie, stay together. Just, you guys are going to need company with people who understand. So be together wherever you need to be.
Yeah, okay. She's gonna start, like, heading... She's gonna see the way that Nate and Claudia walked and awkwardly kind of go that direction, stop, look around, and, like, just find the nearest way back to the street that isn't directly along the club.
Fair enough.
Roland, you were still in the club. Everybody was leaving. What are you up to?
I think I was still up in the room with all the bodies and corpses.
If you didn't follow Claudia down, she was rushing for everyone to get downstairs.
Oh, what? Then yeah, I guess I would have followed.
Okay. You are on the first floor of your own club, seeing the fun that happened.
Yeah, I probably would have just stopped on the stairs and would have watched everything that would have happened. So who's still on the first floor?
Samuel, Byron, and Marcus. You vaguely met them before, with Claudia while you were planning some of this set-type business earlier. And then a cup that Samuel has in tow. Samuel is actually going to walk the cop up to you near the stairs and start explaining the plan that sort of in the background that the very select cops that tend to work for the Camarilla have had this under control so that it's being quarantined from the outside. It looks like everything's being taken care of, at least. For any, witnesses.
Perfect, thank you. And the evidence, what exactly should we do with that?
Sam kind of pats the cop on his shoulder and says, "That's what they're here for too. You know, Dr. Kim, she's probably gonna get one or two bodies to tuck away."
Roland kind of.
Not this week, bitches. I'm on vacation.
I'm on vacation.
Do your own shit.
Perfect. Well, that's easy. Here, let me show you, and I'll walk them up to the room.
All right. Back downstairs, Karen is guiding Ike out the door. So Karen is just slowly walking Ike out the door with Kim and Angel just a few feet behind. Once they're outside, Karen is similar to what was essentially instructed to everybody, going to look for a way that out to the main street that isn't directly heading from the club. So Kim and Angel. I know at least Kim had something she wanted to do.
Yes, and I have that roll set up. What is the difficulty?
Let me check. It's gonna be 8. Well,
Damn it.
tell, are you trying to read a pattern related to Ike?
Yeah, basically between the two of them. Mm-hmm. I want to see how they're connected. I have an idea, but...
It's definitely going to be 8 then, because I might have given you 7 for Ike, but if you're also curious about Karen, you don't know anything about him, that'd be a 9, so let's just go with 8.
Nope. And the circle of fail continues. That's the second time I've tried that on this particular plot point and have failed.
I will essentially, you know what? I will e-roll that again, same difficulty, because you kind of had 2 targets, so...
Hey, thanks.
Alright.
God damn it. Well, it's better than nothing.
Yeah, it's something.
God fucking damn it, Kim. Get your shit together.
I mean, that's a very high difficulty. Alright, focused on Ike. Trying to read the patterns around his soul, trying to reach out to his beast, his mind, whatever you can kind of grasp and try to find something. You start to get this feeling that he's becoming distant from humanity. But there's also this slight wavering feeling that it isn't just him losing control. There seems to be some greater plan that you can't fathom, but there's something going on. And even with his sire's hand on his shoulder, you can feel there's something going on there that's part of the reason.
Oh shit! Okay. Fuck if I know what to do with that. I guess just keep them in sight for now. I'm not going to actively sneak follow them yet.
I am actively going to sneak follow them.
I said yet. I do have 2 obfuscate, but I haven't used it yet.
Oh, I just am dexterous and have celerity. I have 0 dots in stealth.
She doesn't think she has anything... Well, she knows she has something to be afraid of, but she doesn't think she has anything to hide right now, so she's not trying to actively sneak around.
As we're, as we, like, take a few more steps, Ike is just gonna, like, tilt his head, still looking at the ground, but, like, towards Father's feet, and just kind of, like, sadly say, "I'm sorry I let you down, Father."
Karen had taken his hand off your shoulder at this point, but as he continues walking, clicking his cane, he hears this confession from you and looks down. I'm not exactly disappointed, Ike. I think that was a bit out of turn, the way you reacted to that police officer who seems to be just doing the job he was hired to do, but other than that, and he gives him kind of a look up and down, I believe you are following your instructions, so there must be exceptions made for certain actions.
Do I know that Kim is still following us?
She
She's
said she
not
wasn't
hiding
hiding
herself.
it, and yeah, you guys are going down like a back alley to take another alley to the street to get away from the club.
He's gonna just kind of like look over his shoulder, like towards the back, but not like at her or anything. I'm sorry, Father. My head seems to have been tampered with.
I can hear this, right?
I don't think he's trying to hide that. And Karen just gives a very solid, They continue walking for a little while, quietly, and then they turn right to start heading toward the main street.
Yeah, I am actively sneakily following them, so.
Okay.
Can I reverse a passion? Is that a thing I can do?
You could roll it again
Wait,
to
Reverse
up.
the passion again to fix it. Does it make it normal?
It's
I want you to succeed and like turn the dial way too far the other way.
I feel like it's downwards and uppers.
You know what? Because the funny thing is, some of them specifically mention it can be dropped. This one doesn't.
Yeah.
But if you roll again and get any successes, I'll allow you to essentially just like, yeah, with the volume now, or we'll just put that right back to normal.
Charisma, empathy, difficulty 4? This
Yeah.
is the name of these 4?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Hey!
Nice.
Well, normally that would have made you almost frenzy, but you kind of hear Kim go, "I'm sorry," and like just like under her breath, and like it fixes if that's okay.
All right. Yeah, that'll put Ike right as rain.
And like a weird fuzz over your emotions is just lifted.
Ike's body language will change only a small bit. He'll stop like slouching, basically. But he's still just looking at the floor and walking with Father.
Sure.
All right, now, Angel wants to specifically kind of sneak and follow. How is Kim gonna proceed?
Until they tell her to leave, she's gonna keep following them. She's worried about him.
All right, then,
They tell her
Angel?
to leave, she'll leave, but no one has told her to leave yet.
Yeah, Angel, if you want to sort of essentially, while they turn the corner, no longer follow, but follow sneakily, I will need a dexterity roll.
Versus 7, presumably, because I do not have stealth trained?
Yeah.
4 successes.
Okay.
Darn.
And so Karen and Ike round the corner and start heading toward the street. The street does look amazingly backed up. Probably won't even be able to actually get a cab easily off this road. They may actually still have to walk for a little while. But Karen doesn't seem perturbed. A few more feet, though, he realizes the doctor is following them, and he stops in his tracks and turns to face her. Dr. Kim Brown, was it?
Yes.
Please, don't walk alone behind us. Come and join us. You said you were a friend of Ike's.
Yes, Mr. Stark. And she kind of like picks up her pace a little bit and trots along beside them. This is doing so well. This is the best decision I've ever made as a player.
Yep, it is.
Oh, you don't know how much I am regretting having Nate go off and be Nate right now.
So, Dr. Kim, or Dr. Brown, is it? I don't
yes,
mean to. Dr. Brown, how exactly is it that you met Ike, if you don't mind my asking?
Fuck, how did I meet him? Damn it.
I introduced you to?
I don't remember. How did I meet you? Fuck, I don't remember.
It's been like
I think I
7
showed
days.
up with Ike.
It's been such a long
Yeah,
time.
Nate introduced us, and then you hated me for quite a bit because I was arrogant. Well, yeah, I was
told
being
me to
Talk shit
get
arrogant.
about
a
your
better
sire.
sire. That's right. You told me to get.
Yeah,
a
I
better
told you to
sire.
get a better sire and said that you should. This is just stupid. You should learn better. But then we made up and we had a friendly agreement,
Right, that's right. Okay. Gotcha.
and then we actually just
I
became
got-
friends
got
after
this.
Emotion Fest.
Yep, I got this. Okay. I met him through a mutual friend of ours, but we've talked a lot about a couple of different things, and I consider him a friend.
Karen gives a genuine smile in Ike's direction. My, you have made quite a number of friends while I was gone. Who is this, other friend of yours?
Kim doesn't know, man. You didn't tell him.
Are we talking
He's not
about?
stupid, though. Are we talking about Nate? Who are we talking about? I don't.
No, I'm sure we're talking about Angel.
We're talking
What
about
was
the
that,
guy
Angel?
that's
Okay.
following them a block behind.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Just making
Ike
sure.
is gonna
Okay.
say, "I'm not sure what you're talking about, Father. I don't see anyone else."
No, he didn't say that. He asked who the mutual friend was
Yeah.
that we met together.
Oh, I thought.
Yes.
I thought you said,
was
"Who
talking-
is your other friend?"
Yeah,
Like,
who's the
who's
other
that
friend
person
that
with
I
us?
met because I said I met you through a mutual friend?
Oh, okay. Sorry, I got
Who
confused.
I think was Nate.
Yeah, it was me.
I told you, Father. It was the close friend I was staying with who I had met. I had mentioned him before, Nate. Or wait, I wouldn't have called. I don't know if I actually said Nate. No, I
I
did.
don't think you did.
Yeah, I think I just called him my
No, you
good
didn't.
friend.
You specifically left
You said
that
Nate.
Yeah,
out.
he was just my good friend. Yeah.
Oh, well, excellent. I'm glad to hear you have so many people you can count on in the city. So you three, make it out to the main street and are walking. Angel, you're still trailing behind?
Yes, because I think I'm hidden.
Sure you are.
I think I am.
I just, at this point, Kim, why not just do your little psychic thing and just bring Lily into the party and we could all go.
Right? Let's just
Like-
go out for some.
I feel like
blood,
Daddy
Dar-
some
I think
blood tea
Froyo.
and crumpets. Like
I feel like Daddy Darkness and
pleasant
Lily might get
stroll.
along.
I am certain Daddy
Right
Darkness
in
and Lily
the
would get
Central
along.
Park carriage. This will be great.
Let's go piss off the werewolves. That should be a wonderful time.
That's all right.
I've
just
already
on
made
the
them
side.
happy by. I've already pitted them against the prince with Kim.
Jeez. Yeah, we did. That was not smart, but we did it. No, it's fine. Yeah, actually, I've been talking to Ike a lot. He's a very intelligent person. I don't know. I'm filling the fucking dead air.
Yeah, no. He was.
Malkavian self.
Yep, that was good. And he nods along as you speak. He seems to, look at you and has body language of kind of a colleague level. Physical age-wise, he's kind of close to Kim's age. So he seems to just, nod and listen to everything she says. Yes, I always thought so. He's proven a very resourceful, and he gives Ike another smile.
Can I have at this point switched over to sound aspects to listen into their conversation?
Yeah. So, you guys walk for a little bit longer, and Karen will turn. So this street was a bit blocked up and busy because of all of the shenanigans outside the club. But turning the street, there are a couple cabs sitting near a corner, and he puts out a hand in front of Dr. Brown. Please, go ahead and go first. It was a pleasure to meet you.
You as well, Mr. Stark.
And he's actually going to take a few steps back with Ike and wait for you to leave.
Okay, she's taking that cue. Get him in the goddamn cab.
Angel's not.
Once Kim gets in the cab and leaves, Karen is gonna look to Ike again and say, are you ready to go home? Do you have any other friends you need to catch up with?
No, sir. I think I'm done for the night.
Good. Let's go. And he'll get in a cab with Ike.
I will swap over to eyes and see if I can't memorize the plate.
I'll give it to you. It was parked, and you were ready to look for it, so.
And then, because I'm a glutton for punishment, see if I can't follow the cab through the city.
Theirs?
Yes, theirs, not yours. You're safe. You're elsewhere.
Alright, we'll check back with that in a minute. Back at Claudia's apartment. From their cab ride, Claudia is going to remain pretty much quiet. It seems more like she's running calculations and things through her head. What's up, Felix?
Where did Felix end up going?
You're still outside. We're gonna get back to you.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
Yeah.
Make sure I didn't miss something.
Head inside and more or less beeline to the bathroom and go inside if she doesn't stop me.
She's going to let you go.
Alright, just go into the bathroom and make myself Nate again. And then just come, once I'm through with that, walk back out straightening and just, sighing with relief, just like, everything is back where it belongs.
Claudia is sitting on the couch in your apartment, and she kind of looks around and nods. For now, it seems to have gone quite well. Frighteningly so. But I have all of my men working on cleanup now.
That's what we're going to begin this conversation with?
She actually laughs. Come here. She pats the couch. Sit.
And he'll walk over and sit down next to her. Yes.
So she leans forward. Really? So she leans forward, puts, her arms on her knees and kind of head turned looking back up at you. So?
I was curious that no one seemed fucking bothered that there was an Elder Lasombra just in Roland's club.
One thing at a time, Nate. I wasn't exactly ready to go up against whatever it is he might be. Were you?
It just didn't feel like anyone so much as batted a fucking eye. There's an Elder Lasombra in the city. Ike has been holding the fact that there's an Elder Lasombra in the city. Oh, and by the way, this just pairs wonderfully with the fact that we know that there's an Elder Zamisi in the sewers. So first, we all have Elder Zamisi in the sewers, and Lasombra in our clubs.
Nate.
What next?
How much do you know of Ike? How do you know how powerful his sire exactly is?
All I know is that Ike has always seemed to... I don't think I've ever heard Ike talk negatively about his sire necessarily, other than... I mean, he did a lot of fucked up things to Ike, but he still seems to have this weird... okay, you won't say weird. I don't know, I don't know a lot other than he seems to hold the sire in high regard. He has a lot of respect for his sire.
All right. And let's say, even so, his sire is an elder. If I had to guess, I would assume so. What I understand of Sabbat is they come in two flavors. Those that are strong and powerful enough to live past, a few weeks, and the idiots they sire en masse to do their dirty work. So, yes, I understand that. And I understand the trouble that could mean on top of the fact of what we know is in the sewers. But again, Nate, I had a shotgun that I had already left upstairs. What did you want me to do exactly? Walk up to him and tell him, please leave?
I don't know. I guess I was just between you, between Samuel, between somebody. I just thought somebody would have said something. Done something. I don't know. I guess in hindsight that it's irrational. I guess you're making sense, but it felt wrong. Do you understand that?
I understand, but also consider who was there, with the exception of perhaps Samuel and maybe Byron and Marcus. Dr. Brown, I don't know how much he understands about the Sabbat. Roland, I'm sure, does not understand much himself. Nate, I'm not trying to say there isn't a reason for you to be worried. I'm simply saying... And she just kind of almost seems to give up.
Look, I'm fine, but I guess I'm just having difficulty with having imagined the scenario 1,000 times in my head and it having gone completely differently as opposed to an exchange of pleasantries of simply passing of ways of two arch nemesises. We just coming across an Elder Lasombra dedicated to the Sabbat like that, and we just bow to each other and part our ways. It just seems... I don't know, I guess that's something where I was striving for civility, isn't it?
Claudia thinks for a moment, and, she shakes her head. No, it isn't necessarily a matter of civility. It's a matter of patience. Using your wits to know when to strike. Even tonight was a little bit slapdash for what we did, but we still took some time. We took weeks to work out our plans, to get some intelligence on these people, and that's some Setites, a handful. If this is actually an Elder Lasombra wandering the city for God knows what reasons, and the Jamisi that we've seen evidence for, that is something else. That is something I will have to take up with the rest of the Primogen and move forward from there, at least.
All right.
Are you alright? You were in that VIP room for a while. I was trying to get everything set up downstairs. And she kind of like looks him up and down, actually trying to see if he has any cuts or anything.
I'm perfectly fine.
Are you sure?
I might have acted a little bit on instinct when the room went dark. And I guess I'm a little bit bothered that the first weapon I reached out for was the vicissitude.
She sighs. I can understand that, Nate. I know how you feel about it, but we have to use the weapons we have when we have trespassers at our door.
Yeah, I agree. I'll be fine. It's just... I'm fine.
Alright. I will, at this point, we're gonna hop back to the club. Felix, you are actually outside. You just sent poor little Samantha on her way, shakily walking down the alleyways, trying to make her way home.
Poor Samantha. Poor Felix. What's going on again? No. Who's around?
I was just gonna tell you that, the cop who was rounding everybody else up to head out the back is standing there watching you.
How long I've been awkwardly standing here?
Probably a minute. It's Felix after all.
To be fair, he does want his rat buddies back.
Oh, of course.
And, they might report back to him where Jackie went as well. Yeah, he's gonna get his rat. Is that a... honestly, he'll probably be fine. I was thinking about it as, I guess having somebody have their rat buddies isn't a breach of Masquerade or anything weird. It's yeah, I don't know you, but my rat buddies.
So the cop standing behind you has his arms folded and says, "So, Where are you sleeping tonight?
Oh. Where did Roland go?
He's still in the club.
The cop sighs and nods back at the door. He's still inside. Come on. And he holds the door open for you.
Sure. Has my rat buddies come back yet?
Candlestick has. You haven't seen the other two just yet.
Mm. I'm going to whisper to Candlestick. Find your siblings.
All right, and Candlestick goes running off, looking for his little buddies.
Come back!
You just yell at your rat, and come back! So the cop holds the door open, lets you back inside, and as soon as the door closes behind him, he drops his disguise, and you recognize Benedict.
Oh! Hey, Ben! Or is it Benedict now?
I prefer Benedict.
Benedict it is. That's why you were acting weird with... okay, yeah.
So he strides into the club and finds Roland still speaking with a couple of the other kindred that were in the club. But they're moving to go get those two corpses that are off on the side, leaving the three of you standing by the stairs. Quite a party, Roland.
Bonjour.
Thank you, Benedict. Yes, well, it was at least successful.
Seems that way. I barely had to lift a hand.
Well, that's good. It's one less favor I have to owe you. And I'll look at my... What time is it?
It is late.
Okay. Because
not
early.
Huh?
Or early.
It's late for you guys. The sun isn't exactly, a concern right now, but the real club got going around 12-ish, and it's been a good couple hours because you were trying to schmooze the set tights, get them all comfortable, the actual fight, and now the aftermath. So probably about 3 or so.
Okay, so as far as the party and the special event at the club, would it have lasted long enough to make money for Roland, or did it end abruptly enough that we're probably not doing that well?
I got your priorities in the right place.
Yeah.
With it being the Succubus Club, you made a lot of money from the beginning of the club. And the club did open, about 10 o'clock. So from there to when everybody started screaming and running out, yeah, you would have actually done pretty well, even considering that it was... the club closes up about 4 or 5 anyway, so only a couple hours short.
Okay. And the chick who was planning it, I forget her name. What was
Helena. So you haven't
was
seen
she-
her since you went into the VIP room.
Okay, got you. Well, Benedict, are you sticking around to help, or what are your plans?
He looks around the club and says, well, mopping up's not really my duty, but,
No,
sorry.
go.
I haven't practiced Benedict in a while.
No, of course not, Benedict. I'm sure you can go downstairs and relax. And Felix, I'm assuming, who will be staying with us, will join you in a bit.
Oh, thank you.
No, Felix, thank you. If you like, you can also go downstairs, and I'll wrap up here. Or do you want to get a drink?
With no one under the influence, right?
No, I I meant that in the most human way possible. Do you want a blood of something under the influence?
It's been a night. That's a yes. Sorry, my Canadian came out.
Um, well, come on then. And Roland will go upstairs to the bar and see if he can find Bloody Mary.
Benedict takes his cell phone out and starts walking away, basically to the back door, as if he is gonna go down to the apartment. And as he's walking away, and you are heading to the stairs, you see him texting. Even it's a little awkward because he has his long, gnarly fingers, but he manages. You see him texting something. He says, "I'll let your girlfriend and your kid know you're all right."
Tell them it's all safe and they can come back. Obviously, it's you know what to tell them.
Yeah. All right. So Felix and Roland gonna go get maybe a little crunk for the rest of the night after all that fun. Ike, you arrive back at Daddy Darkness's apartment.
Do Angel first. I'm curious.
Okay, hold on. All right, Angel. You get in a cab and tell them to follow, or are you gonna like go back to your shop and trail it?
Traffic in Manhattan doesn't move that fast, and I do have celerity. I'm hoping it.
Good point. All right.
If I lose him, I lose him. But his intent is to hoof it and figure out where Ike is staying.
Yeah, I'm just doing momentary math in my head. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna say, now the traffic's not very fast. You've got celerity, but you've also got, humans, and you can't break the masquerade too hard. So if you manage to keep some of your faster pace movement, like 2 alleyways, and just here and there jogging down the street, just keeping it in sight, I'm gonna say you're able to manage. You'll be able to follow them. The cab it is actually a little bit of a drive. It takes a little while because the apartments or the suites that Ike Sire is staying at are a little further north in Manhattan, and Roland's Club is a little more south. But after a good maybe 30 minutes of trailing this cab, it stops outside of a hotel, very swank place, and you are able to see Karen and Ike exit the cab and head into the building. And everybody switch.
Woo!
Yeah, turning your camera off switches everybody's stuff.
It's fine.
Felix.
Oh,
Hi, I'm Ike Rogers, and I'm a little emo kid who loves darkness and dark things.
I clicked
Ike's
stop.
not a girl.
I hope it didn't do it.
No, I've gotten used to it. It takes me half a second.
Oh, I'm still me this time.
I'm sad.
It usually keeps like one or two people the same, and then like everybody else.
I can't
Change
tell.
places.
Quick, let's do a body swap episode.
That'd be fun.
That would be fun.
Those are always fun.
All right. Yeah. So that is what you see, Angel.
Okay, so I will give it a second and see if I can figure out what floor they're on, and then I'll head out. Like, watching the lights on the elevator.
By going inside the building?
Hopefully by standing outside of the building and looking in. If the angle works that way.
I'm only trying to think of how many hotels you can tell where the elevator goes from the outside. I've been in a lot of hotels.
I mean, I've already made bad decisions, and I don't think that they've seen me, so why not keep it up?
Okay. Angel follows them casually inside. Don't mind the jumpsuit. and you see the two of them enter an elevator. What's up?
At what point do we get perception awareness checks?
Oh, you can roll if you want. Daddy Darkness already did.
Yeah. Daddy Darkness saw me before Kim showed up.
Hold on one sec.
But I don't know that, so I think I am being super stealthy and am following them. Yay.
I'm the sneakiest mechanic around.
Hey, I've said for a while that I want to trade some trade disciplines with Kim.
Well, then maybe you
And
should do it.
Masquerade is the one that I want.
Well, then maybe you should do that. Although I don't think you've ever seen her obfuscate.
No.
I don't think she's ever used it in this entire game.
Yes.
Not that I remember.
Am I rolling a new stealth or?
You can, since you actually stopped at you were following the cab from outside, you can definitely roll again.
I got 5 successes.
I got 0. Wow, I stumble over something. That's great.
All right. So Angel walks into the lobby, and you didn't get a botch, so you just walk in. But Ike, you definitely catch that familiar jumpsuit out the corner of your eye.
I won't actually look back at him or anything, but as we're walking through the lobby with Father, I'm going to say, Father, one of my friends seems to be following us.
Karen's going to stop with a nice little click of his cane. Oh, another one. And he's going to turn around looking for what direction you're looking at. Elvish is losing it.
You said you're wearing your jumpsuit?
Yep, I never changed.
Ike is gonna turn around and just wave and say it's the one in the jumpsuit, Father.
Karen with a very just casual look of almost bored interest. Just, oh? And he's gonna start walking toward him with you.
Oh, God.
I didn't walk towards him. I'll follow
Run!
Father when
Run!
Father walks towards him.
He meant with you as if, you're gonna follow. He knows you're gonna follow.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, I follow.
I'm gonna shit under my breath.
So Karen stops.
But there's
Karen stops a modest few feet away from Angel and looks to Ike for introductions.
Sorry, Father. Angel. This is Angel. Angel, this is Karen Stark.
Karen puts his hand out to shake Angel's.
I will very awkwardly but firmly shake his hand.
So he shakes your hand back. It's a pleasure to meet you, Angel. And he gives a not at all a mocking smile, like a very serious. What line of business are you in?
I'm a mechanic.
Oh, very interesting. And he looks to Ike. Quite an eclectic group of friends you're collecting.
Yeah, he staked me once, so now he has to teach me how to drive.
Ah, well.
Angel is gonna look mortified when you say that. Absolutely mortified.
Ike will smile when he sees your mortified look. Careful, Father, he's very quick.
I'll keep that in mind. Angel, are you staying here at the suites as well?
Nope, I'm just following you. Hey, how's it going?
No, I was just making sure I got home okay.
How thoughtful of you. But nothing to worry about. I am his sire. Ike's been staying with me here. I have a suite of my own. Well, and Karen's gonna kind of clap his hand together. I think, and he looks at Ike, perhaps we should have a little get-together sometime. Obviously, dinner itself might be a bit funny, but just a evening together so you can introduce me to all these friends of yours properly.
He'll say in front of Angel, like, he's gonna say, in like not a, it doesn't come off as threatening in any sort of way. It just comes off as like the logistics might not work. Well, Father, he's gonna kind of like look at Angel like this is probably gonna be true. Unfortunately, I think after your appearance, my closest friend probably is trying to get the Camarilla to kill you by this time, and Angel here has no fondness. And to be fair, they're already very weary of me. So I feel like we would probably just walk into, for better, or for lack of better wording, a trap.
Karen listens to Ike with half a smile as he explains all this and nods, then turns back to Angel. Well, perhaps we shouldn't have dinner then. It was a pleasure to meet you, Angel. And he's going to take Ike back over to the elevator.
Ike will stand there awkwardly.
Ike
I'll
will?
follow.
Yes, Ike will definitely. Angel's gonna follow. Angel's gonna follow Daddy Darkness. Ike's gonna stand there awkwardly.
Quick switch sires!
Yeah, I'm just gonna follow Father back to the elevator and like turn around and just wave to Angel as we go up the elevator.
Alright, and Angel, you are left alone in the lobby of these suites.
I feel like I might, if where I have been left standing has a line of sight of the elevator, I feel like I might have presence of mind to note the floor, but I will not be following.
These elevators don't have floors on the outside.
Okay. Then
But I will let you note that they do go up.
alright.
I mean, that's about it. That's about it. It's a light on the outside that says up or down.
Yep.
So-
Then after a few minutes, I'll kind of. I think I might actually head to a bar. And a bar that is more up Angel's alley. Because I'm thirsty.
So at this point, Kim has actually sent Angel a text that is like, "Are you okay?" He doesn't have to respond at least, but it's there.
There will be a yeah.
Okay. You want help?
I'll respond with later.
Just let me know.
I really want to use the thumbs up emoji, but Angel doesn't use emojis. I'm not Roland after all.
I do think once Ike is like safe into the room, he will probably text Nate, just I'm home safe.
Response. Define safe.
Alive. I'll see you soon, I'm sure. Please don't be mad.
I hope to talk soon.
All right, so here we have Felix and Roland went up to the second floor of the bar while the police wrap up some other business. They're gonna grab a couple drinks. Lucille actually manages to resurface. She was outside helping the cops with some business and decides to sit and grab a drink with them. Angel is at the suites and then decides to also go find himself a drink in a loud environment. You know, something to just be distracting.
I'm thinking, I'm hoping for a little bit more casual of a gay bar.
Okay.
Like not a club, but like a bar.
All right, but it's also still got enough noise, so it doesn't have to worry about that other little problem he's been having.
Oh yeah.
Nate is home with Claudia, has taken his face off, and she has done her best while exhausted to try and calm him for at least the rest of the evening. Ike is also home with Daddy Darkness, and Kim heads home to her apartment, knowing she can get a little bit of a rest now that she doesn't have to worry about going into work the next night. I will say, if she happens to, you know, maybe check her email or something, she does get a note from her brother, just checking how she's been.
Oh, sweet. Okay. She'll respond to him that she's been busy with work, but she's actually taking a week off, and if they wanted to meet up, that she could.
Right. It is 3-something a.m., of course, so you'll probably get the response later, but
sorry,
yeah.
But sorry, was on night shift or some bullshit.
Mm-hmm. The email also has some just nice little notes about the family, almost like a handwritten letter, hey, haven't talked in a while, how's it going?
Pictures of my niece and nephew.
Mm-hmm.
Yay!
And now that everybody is either home safe or going to get happily drunk, that's where we're going to wrap the episode tonight. We will be back next Tuesday with more of our favorite vampires, and we'll see what they get up to after having essentially wrapped up one of their first arcs in the story.
Woo!
Look at you guys! It only took most of a year.
We did something. We still got them Zameses, and we got that werewolf shit to look forward to.
Mm-hmm.
You mean we have the Zameses in the sewer? There's nothing else.
There's nothing else.
Nothing.
No,
I don't know. I'm pretty
already
invested in this werewolf shit, considering what me and Angel did.
We've already
No,
dealt with the
Jesus.
werewolves. Now we just get to see the aftermath.
Right? Oh, I still have to fucking meet with the prince this week too. God fucking damn it, that's
Yes.
still on the agenda.
Yes, it is.
Shit.
We're probably gonna have maybe 1 or 2 more episodes, sort of wrapping up this time frame. And then I would really like to try and have us have a little time jump. Nothing huge necessarily, but a little.
Only 5 years.
Just when the
Hey, your
city's
invitation
in.
got cleared up by then.
Claudia's fighting with the prince over. Yeah, no. Anyway, so as usual, thank you everybody who came out and watched live. Thank you to everybody who catches us on YouTube. Our information on Twitch, as our Discord link, our Twitter, that information will be updated on YouTube shortly, but if you follow our Twitch link, you'll find it all there. Definitely join the Discord. We hang out there, and yes, I'm gonna do the outro. Okay, calm down.
Every time, ever since you forgot it once,
I know.
we're never gonna let you forget it again.
It's okay. Eventually, I will remember by default of not wanting to hear you guys say it. But yeah, come join the Discord. We talk about this game, World of Darkness in general, tabletop, all that good stuff. So let's get that outro going, and we will see you all later. Bye.
Bye, Bob.
Bye.